If you're thinking about buying or selling in the Temecula Valley right now, I need you to look at two numbers before you do anything else. 35 to 43%. That's the percentage of listings in Temecula, Murrieta, Menifee, Wildomar, Winchester, and Lake Elsinore that had to cut their prices last month. Now here's the twist. Every single one of these cities is technically still labeled a seller's advantage market. So which is it? Is this a seller's market or a buyer's market? Well, stick with me because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly where the leverage is in your specific city and what it means for you and your next move. So welcome to your July 2026 Temecula Valley market update. Let me ask you something. When you hear seller's market, what do you picture? Multiple offers, bidding wars, waived contingencies? Well, that was 2021. That is not what's happening today, July 9th, 2026. Here's what the data across all 6 of our core Temecula Valley cities actually show. Every city sits in a market action score between 37 and 43, which means it's a slight seller's advantage band, which really just means we're in a balanced, leaning slightly towards seller's market. But underneath that label, inventory has grown, days on the market have stretched out, and price reductions are hitting 1 in 3 to nearly 1 in 2 active listings. So the headlines isn't sellers are winning or buyers are winning. The headline is the market rewards preparation, not assumptions. If you price it right and present it right, you're still in a strong position. If you guess, the market is going to correct you publicly with a price cut. All right, let's break it down city by city because Temecula Valley is not one market, it's 6 different micro markets, and the difference between them matters more than you realize. And you can follow along on my charts and graphs here, and we're starting in Temecula. So Temecula is the priciest and the most competitive on paper with a median list price of $8.99. And at $372 a square foot, the highest per foot value in the valley. But you got to look closer because inventory just hit 412 homes. That's the largest supply of any city that we're talking about today. And 41% of the listings have taken a price cut. So homes are sitting a median of 49 days. So here's a question that I would ask if you own a home in Temecula right now. If 4 out of 10 of your neighbors' listings needed a price adjustments, what does that tell you about how buyers are actually shopping? Even in a market like Temecula that is so desirable. Next up, Murrieta. Murrieta comes in at $759,999 as a median list price, $306 a foot, and this is the one that jumps out to me. Inventory of 337 homes, average days on market of 101, the longest hold time in the valley. And only 1% of the listings have seen price increase. That's the lowest upward momentum number on this list. Translation, Murrieta sellers, your pricing strategy on day one matters more here than almost anywhere else in our region. Menifee, they have a median list price of $682,500. Rent is very strong at $33.39 and a market action score of 40. Price cuts sit at 37%, but relisted homes are also higher here at 9%, meaning some sellers are pulling listings and coming back rather than writing out a stale listing. If you're selling in Menifee, that's a signal. Don't let a listing go stale. Refresh your strategy before you relist. Now Winchester. Winchester sits at $676,842 as a median list price, and honestly, this is one of the healthiest boards on the list. It's the fastest average days on market at 69, median days on market of just 42, and the highest price increase rate in the valley at 9%. Rent is strong too at $34.49. So Winchester is quietly one of the more balanced, well-behaved markets in our region right now. Wildomar has the tightest inventory in the valley at just 72 active listings and the highest market action score of 43. the closest to a true seller's advantage on the list. With list price at $699,000, $450,000, if you've been waiting for less competition to sell in Wildomar, this is closer to that window than any other city we're covering in today's market update. And Lake Elsinore, it comes in at the most affordable entry point at $628,703 median list price and $298 a square foot. Rent is the lowest of the 6 cities at $29.95, but that also makes it the strongest cash flow play for investors right now. Days on market and price cut percentage are right in line with the Valley's average. So what does this mean for you? Let's get practical. There's 2 audiences watching this right now. If you're a seller, here's the question I want you to sit with. If 4 out of 10 homes in your city needed a price cut to sell, what makes you confident your listing won't be one of them? Most sellers overprice not because you're greedy, but because they're using last year's number or their neighbor's number from 6 months ago. And in this market, that's the single most expensive mistake you can make. Every week that your home sits overpriced, buyers are mentally filing it under something's wrong with it, even though nothing is. If you're a buyer, here's your question. With inventory rising in Temecula and Murrieta and price cuts running as high as 43%, what's actually stopping you from making an offer below asking and negotiating for repairs or credits or maybe price point reductions? 6 months ago, that conversation didn't exist. But today, in most of these 6 cities and anywhere in Southern California, it absolutely does. And with mortgage rates holding in the 6.5 to 7% range, the real conversation about a sub 6% later this year, buyers who lock in now and refinance later are positioning yourselves ahead of the crowd that's been waiting on the sidelines for perfect conditions that honestly, they may never fully arrive. Here's my honest take. This is not a market to guess in. It's a market to get a real city-specific number, a real strategy, and move with clarity. Whether that's listing this month or making a smart offer while sellers are still adjusting to expectations. If you want the exact numbers for your street, not just your city, you need to be reaching out to your trusted realtors and get those updated numbers. They will all give it to you for free with no obligation. Hey, I hope this July market update has brought you some clarity. Drop a comment and let me know. Is there any questions you have about your city and what the market's doing there? I'd love to help. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one, and stay blessed.